Hey Mindful Mamas, Susie Marshausen here from Mindful Maternity, and I'm here with my second pregnancy update, and I'm going to be talking about weeks 5 through 9. So you're new to this series. Basically what I'm doing is I'm sharing weekly updates of my own pregnancy so that I can have a record for myself and also just bring along some of the tips and the things that I'm learning and experiencing to you so that you can have your most healthy and mindful pregnancy as well. So if you missed the first update when I talked about weeks 1 through 4, you can go ahead and check that out by clicking the link above. This week we're covering all the weeks of 5 through 9, basically because I'm just catching up and I'm not actually currently in those weeks. I just wanted to give a brief overview of those early weeks, and following this video I will be doing weekly updates starting with week 10. So let's get started. During these 5 weeks, it was really that typical first trimester stuff, the nausea, the sore boobs, the fatigue. I was really kind of feeling almost like I was just like sick the whole time. Luckily I was only actually physically sick once, and that was when I was at a week-long spiritual retreat when about 6 weeks. And I think that was actually more so just from a lot of energetic movement, and I was purging a lot of energies. So that was really the only time that I was physically ill, but I've just been nauseous for like constantly for weeks. And anybody who's experienced morning sickness, whether you are actually vomiting or not, you know it's just like this constant, like almost car sick feeling. No, it's not fun to be nauseous. So that was definitely my biggest struggle through these weeks, was the constant just like queasy, nauseous feeling. And really for me, the only thing that kind of made it feel better was eating. So I felt like I was just like always eating to kind of keep the nausea from getting too bad, and because it would really get bad on an empty stomach. So I was definitely indulging in things, my kind of like pregnancy cravings, but trying to keep them healthier as well. So if I wanted something, I would either make it from scratch with better ingredients, with healthier ingredients. I would add vegetables into any of my kind of comfort foods. Like I made mac and cheese, but I would add broccoli. So definitely still allowing myself to splurge a bit, but also making sure to get in the nutritious foods as well. And that was definitely key. I think I probably would have felt a lot worse if I was just like eating junk the whole time. So definitely a key thing for nausea. Something to note about the first trimester and feeling sort of sick the whole time and tired, I felt kind of like disconnected from my spirituality because I just was so exhausted and not really wanting to do anything. And I noticed that I kind of felt less connected to the baby than I would have expected I would. You know, you find out you're pregnant and it's just like this instant like magical experience, and you feel so connected to the life growing inside of you. And that was definitely one of the biggest surprises of the first trimester, was that I just was like too sick to even really feel that connection. And definitely looking forward to the second trimester because I can already tell that it's going to be a lot different and it's going to be a much more positive experience. But that was something that was kind of surprising because I felt connected in the first kind of like around 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden when the nausea and the fatigue happened, I started feeling almost disconnected, probably because I was just kind of like foggy and feeling lazy and not really feeling spiritually connected to anything. And that was something to definitely pay attention to and kind of bring myself back sometimes, because it was easy to sort of get lost. So that will definitely be something in my next pregnancy that I'm even more aware of and I'm kind of prepared for, is this almost 3 months of sort of feeling yucky and, you know, mitigating that by doing extra meditations and journaling even more so that I can continue to build that connection even before the second trimester when I'm feeling a little bit better. One thing I did notice was that I started to feel a little bit more gratitude in the end towards my not so pleasant symptoms, basically because I kind of like looked at the silver lining and realized that that's probably a good sign that my hormones are increasing enough to cause these sort of changes in these symptoms, even if it's not fun to have sore boobs and to feel tired. But that just kind of showed me that my body's doing a lot to grow this new baby, and I started to feel a little bit more gratitude for it, and that made it a little bit easier because it definitely wasn't fun, but seeing that sort of silver lining and knowing, okay, these symptoms are a good thing and are indicative of my body having the proper hormone levels and the hormones increasing, meaning that my baby's growth is right on track, and I felt almost protected from any sort of problems because I could tell that I definitely was pregnant. So in those first few months when you're a little nervous and unsure and things can definitely go wrong, it was kind of a nice reassurance to know, okay, like if I still feel pregnant, then I am pregnant, and that's definitely a positive side of things. Another really exciting thing that happened during these weeks was we went and toured the birthing center that I will be giving birth in, and it was beautiful. Here's some pictures. You can see the space is just gorgeous. It's really homey feeling, and for me and Mike, that was the perfect sort of medium between being in a hospital, a very clinical setting, and a home birth, and it made a lot of sense for us to go there where we want to have a really natural birth, but we didn't quite want to have a home birth, and I knew for a fact I didn't want to be in a hospital. So this birthing center is amazing. It's like 3 minutes away from a hospital, and they are in contact with the maternity unit ward there. So it definitely feels safe, and it feels like I am going to be taken care of no matter what, but I also get that really like homey vibe, and we get to bring in whatever we want, candles, music, incense, whatever will make me feel more relaxed and capable of going through that incredible journey of childbirth. So to kind of sum up weeks 5 through 9, the best thing I can say is to be kind and gentle and understanding with yourself, knowing that you're probably not going to be out running marathons or being super productive. So I would love to hear everybody else's experiences with the first trimester. I'm always so curious to see what other people were going through, to share each other's journeys. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what your first trimester was like. If you had morning sickness or if you didn't at all. I've definitely noticed in my group, the Mindful Maternity community on Facebook, which you can join in the links below. People are kind of all over the place. Some people experienced no symptoms their first trimester, and then some people are just like miserable and sick in bed for weeks. And it's really always interesting because every pregnancy and every person's different. So love to hear your stories. So go share those in the Mindful Maternity Facebook community, or you can just comment below. That's all for this pregnancy update, and I will see you next week when I'll be sharing week 10.